We're shaking, people. Back with another reaction, back with some more Erasure. We're back to the chorus album again, 1991, and we're actually up to the penultimate tune. Moving through the Erasure albums quickly. I mentioned it before. I'm in it for the long haul, so I think the Say 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 album is the next one I'm gonna go to after I finish the 5 that I've done. I'm not sure if that's exactly the next one in the chronology after chorus. I know it's also a 90s album, so let me know. I'm sure a number of you will let me know in the comments. But yeah, bottom line, that's one that I've heard a couple of you talk about, so it felt like a good one to go to next, especially if it is the next one chronologically. Regardless, we're up to a tune called Perfect Stranger. It's an interesting phrase. You know, perfection in a colloquial sense, it's used all the time. I feel like it's often inaccurate or misleading. There's always something that could be tweaked or adjusted or changed in a way that would make it even more beneficial, even more compelling, even more desirable. But yeah, bottom line, we use perfect to mean essentially that there's no problems with it. There's nothing in the equation that is unpleasant or not desirable or undesirable. So yeah, perfect stranger. You know, stranger is a person you do not know, either by friendship or familial connection, or I suppose in an occupation or a social setting, that's where you encounter strangers. But yeah, someone you don't know. So the idea of a perfect stranger is like almost a contradiction in terms, right? Like, because if someone's a stranger, you really don't know who they are, or at the very least, the only thing you know are superficial characteristics, what they look like, and or the way they're presenting themselves in this initial point of contact. But you certainly can't know their background or sort of their personality subtleties that might not reveal themselves right away, and so on. So a perfect stranger, it's a weird assessment for someone that you, by the very definition, are not familiar with. So it's an interesting claim. Also, I would say, in the context of an Erasure song, you're thinking about it as maybe a person that, you know, you're excited by, you're attracted to, maybe you'd like to date. But, you know, again, the idea that they're perfect right out of the gate could be more you trying to convince yourself that this is a cool opportunity and something that you really have to leap at, rather than any logical or evidence-based analysis of someone's, you know, attributes in the short and the long term. So yeah, it's a very funny title, and given Erasure's lyrical subject matter more generally, I'm really intrigued to see how it'll manifest, but let's get to it. This is 1991 from the album Chorus, Erasure, and the song is Perfect Stranger. Oh, hey. I like that synth. There's some funk to that. This is already off to a brilliant start.
I gave up my time for no good affair. If you think I've learned by now to be taken in by the perfect stranger that I never know how. Still, don't fool me.
Both the percussion and the synths are like very kind of choppy and fragmented.
Maybe I should grow up. If you could find just some space, or would I feel that I shot myself into a corner?
I like those simple smash. Sorry.
So long, and you're a friend of mine. You're closer than kind. You're indestructible. No place I'd rather be than in the ring with you. We go 20 rounds.
I was like, are we really talking boxing?
For kidding myself.
Probably metaphorical.
It should be. Maybe I should grow up. What if you could find the same space? Or would I feel that I turned myself into a corner? I see the
of this song sonically.
no good at that. You think I learned by now to be taken in.
That's the thing though, right? Logic, reason, not always relevant in this context.
Still, fool me for killing myself. That's the way it should be. Maybe I should grow up.
Also not
What if you could find
as matter of fact as it should be.
or would I feel? That's how myself
You know how long you held that?
come on.
So much happening in this tune. That's a tune. I enjoyed that a great deal, and like I apologize to Andy. There were a couple moments where I was like commenting on the sonics of what was happening, and then man, it feels like it rolls into the next track. So I if I can remember, when I do the final track, I will start like 10 seconds previous into this one and let it roll in. But yeah, there were a couple moments where his vocals like not only were like hitting a really sweet sort of melodic sound, but he was extending them, and there was once or twice where I sort of stepped on the vocals. I do apologize. But yeah, that was a really cool tune on both ends. Again, like Vince doing the work with the keyboards and the drum machine, but also Andy really doing some cool vocal work, and also not just with the main like lyrics. There were like a couple moments where they were like instrumental interludes, but he was giving kind of like little, you know, sort of melodic vocalization, little vocal touches that was just adding to the overall sonic atmosphere. So yeah, really cool tune. Shout out to Vince and Andy. When we come back, as I said, I'll make sure to sort of let it roll in from the end of this track, given what it just sounded like. But the last tune, I can't even read that. What does it say? It says home. Okay, well there you go. So I guess we're going home for the final track, which I like that conceptually, like without even knowing what it'll sound like or exactly what it'll pertain to. So, but again, there's 2 more discs on here. We got a whole disc of B-sides, remixes, and rarities, and then the 3rd disc is Chorus Live. So we are anything but done with this album overall, but we are drawing to a close with the actual like official studio album part of the release. In any case, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.